Hey everyone! For today's video, I was requested to make a no game pass house from my comments. During the making of this video, I also met a really awesome person. We got to tour each other's plots, which I thought was really cool, and she even subscribed to my YouTube channel. So I'll leave her on the screen right here. And guys, her build was so adorable as well. The total value for this house came up to about 417k, but I did include 2 vehicles on this plot, so if you take away the values 130k for the truck and 18k for the car, you're left with about 270k at 9% plot data. Here are the rules outlined for this house. It has to be single story, no use of transform or resize tool, no basement, has to fit in standard plot, and of course no advanced placement. But I do have some exceptions. I can use the color wheel, and all grid sizes. Okay guys, I know that was a lot of information, so let's get started with the build. Alright, so let's dive into the floor plan of this house. So this house includes a lot to be a 2-bedroom and what you could consider a starter home. So it includes a master with a walk-in closet and a bathroom that also includes both a shower and a bathtub. It also features another bedroom that has its own bathroom and a linen closet. There is also a pool and screened-in patio that also has a built-in outside grill or kitchen, and there's enough space in the backyard to have a playground, trampoline, and place to play soccer. The kitchen also has some fun features like a modern stovetop island and a coffee bar, as well as a pantry cabinet. There is also an additional formal dining area, as well as a mudroom and laundry room, and in the main living area there's of course the living room and even a home office. And lastly, the garage offers a 2-car space and a workshop. And of course, I know that's a lot to remember and memorize, so I'm going to leave a picture of the floor plan here for any of you guys who need to reference it or want to recreate this house. My main inspiration for the exterior of this build is by this other creator here. I've been watching him for a while now, and I think that his builds are absolutely beautiful, and I wanted to go with something alongside his style of house because I thought it'd be perfect for this challenge since his style is very clean, simple, but very aesthetic and put together. So I love the color palette and the use of fencing and gardening and pathing that he uses on his house, and also the combination of how he places the windows and roofs. So I went ahead and did that. So yeah, if it looks similar to his style, that is all creds to him. I just put my little spin on it, but yes, I'm trying to replicate his style as much as possible because I really adore it. He's definitely my type of builder. And also shout out to this random person that also donated me 5,000 bucks while I was building this, which you never could not need 5,000 bucks in Bloxburg, so I really appreciate it. This point in my building was so funny because I was going to use these modern windows and resize them, and then I had to catch myself and use the factory windows because I realized I cannot resize anything. So yeah. Okay, so I'm just going around and adding in all the windows around the house, and I really love how there's windows on the garage area that kind of poke out, so if you're inside the garage you can see outside, and it also makes the garage look nicer. And from the outside you can look in and see vehicles parked and kind of view the garage from the outside, which I find really innovative. As you see later, I didn't want this to be like a boring garage. I kind of wanted it to be more upscale, so it'll be decorated. I also decided to add in these vents above the roofs and above some of the doors inside of the house, which I thought was a great touch for realism, and it also looks pretty good in my opinion. I think that adding vents is something I would like to see more in a lot of people's builds. I don't see it often. So for the backyard patio and screened-in patio, I had some inspiration from real life. So a lot of houses you will see in Florida will have like a gable roof, and then when it gets to like the backyard, sometimes when you have a screened-in lanai, it'll be a flat roof on top. So that's why the back of the house has a flat roof. And I put all these screens here as like netting to make a screened in patio for the pool, because a lot of pools in Florida have that around the pools because to keep out people and bugs and things. And moving on into the kitchen. So I wanted to do something different. So I decided to make the cabinets a dark green color. And honestly, I changed this type of green color at the end of the video once I really started putting a lot of detail into the build, which you will see in the tour. So a lot of the detail, like the little knickknacks and certain colors and color schemes are changed around, you'll see in the tour, because of course when I go back and revise this, sometimes I tweak things that I don't like. So this build looks a tiny bit different when I do the final tour, but it's not that big of a deal. In the kitchen, I wanted it to be kind of different, so I thought green would be cool. And I also wanted to make like a little coffee bar as well. And I thought it would also be kind of innovative to put the stove built in the island, because I don't know, I wanted that look, like some touch of modernism, because to be honest, this house, I cannot figure out what I would consider it. Like, I can't figure out if it would be contemporary, transitional, or like traditional. I really can't figure it out. I can't, but I think it still looks good. It's just like a mixture of everything, honestly. I don't know, I guess I would just consider it maybe like normcore or like suburban or something like that. I don't really know, but I think that might be attributed to the fact that I made this deal with myself while building this. So basically, I know I'm not the only one who does this, but you know when you go on Pinterest and you're scrolling for inspiration and you save all these pins, and it ends up being so many pins that you never actually go back and use any of them. So I was like, how would I actually utilize my pins for once? So I filtered my pins for Bloxburg inspiration, and I used all of these boards that I had and I just combined them. So this whole interior design is primarily based on only my Pinterest pins in Pinterest feed. So maybe that's why there's so many styles in one, but I think it works pretty well because my style seems to be pretty consistent. It's just that I cannot pinpoint it. Now, I wanted to go with a formal dining room, but I didn't want to make it like formal or professional, because like, I don't know, sometimes it can be daunting to like have a formal dining table and then like have to sit there and just like feel rigid. So I didn't want to go with that. So I was like, I'm going to try to use some like comfy chairs to make it seem more inviting to sit at the dining table and like just relax while you eat, because it just seemed more comfortable. I really like this vibe more, and I also really like the way I placed it because it has like 6 windows and I feel like it just looks so nice. Like you can look outside and you can look onto the backyard with the pool, and I think that'd be nice to do while you eat dinner. And to really emphasize the comfy, like realistic vibe of a kitchen in real life, I added like dinner plates and like dessert and a whole bunch of like candies later on, and it really helped with the idea that this is a relaxed home and people are just living their lives. I was actually watching a pita bread video the other day, and he has suggested that he wished there was like non-playable like NPCs that walked around and that we could like place them in build mode. And I was like, that literally was the most iconic idea I've ever, like, I wish we could like make characters live inside of our houses and stuff. Maybe one day they'll make that, but they definitely, like, I wish they would add that because that would be so cool to like actually give some life to the game, because you can build houses and everything, but like at the end of the day they're usually empty unless you build something like a resort or a hotel or something like that and like rent it out to people. But not everybody does that, and it kind of, I don't know, it kills the aspect of it, especially since there is like not as much roleplay as there used to be in the past. But it's just like, I wish they would do that. That would be such a good idea. I think another part of my building I need to do more experience in is living rooms, because they're not hard, but it's just like I want to diversify my use of couches in the game, because I was trying to use a transitional couch and for some reason I couldn't in this build. So I ended up just using a wicker, and I just feel like I use the wicker set so much. Like I need to use the other sets too, because they are good as long as you use the right material and the right color scheme. We can make them work, but it's just like I always end up coming back to the wicker set, and I just feel like I don't want my builds to become so repetitive and like all the same style, because I like to do different styles. So I took a note of that. Like I'm gonna try to use other different types of seating area or whatever, because using the wicker set for each build is not gonna cut it. Maybe another option is to just make my own couches using basic shapes, which I do sometimes, but maybe I need to do more often, or maybe venture into different types of custom couches, I guess. When it came to the office, I had a love-hate relationship with it. So at first I really didn't like it. I think it was the materials that I used and the color scheme that I went with. I wasn't really comfortable with it. So in the end, off camera, I did end up changing around the color scheme, and this made me like it a lot more. I don't really think it was the furniture I used that I didn't like. I think it was just more of the color combination, and I don't think it worked for me. It didn't look how I wanted to in my mind. So, but eventually I did fix it, and I ended up liking it a lot actually. And once I added all the little like office details, I think that also kind of helped me as well. As you can see, as I'm building, I'm not really worried about adding all this tiny details like paper pencils, you know, all this type of stuff like that I usually do, like plants, candles, and all that, because I decided to do that off camera. This was because this video is a longer one of mine, obviously, and I don't have a long attention span, and I'm sure a lot of people don't have a long attention span either. And I figured you're gonna see it in the tour anyways, so I'm not gonna bore you double times. I'm gonna just try to keep it simple, give you the basic layout and the basic furniture I use, and then if you do decide to recreate this, you can decorate it how you wish. Alright, so the garage is actually a furnished garage, or whatever you could consider it. Kind of like, you know how they have like furnished basements. Anyways, maybe it's called finished basement.
Oh,
We're not
brother.
I don't know. Okay, so anyways, what I'm trying to get to is that this garage is not a trashy garage, if that makes sense. I really wanted it to make it look like this garage is actually useful, so I wanted to include a workshop area, and I also wanted to add some pipes like on the wall, so it looks like, you know, like, because there's pipes in garages. So yeah, there's a lot of things I don't see in Bloxburg that I wish I did see more of. Pipes are one of them, vents are another. I also wanted a rack for just some storage, and then also some garbage bins for realism. So I had to re-record this portion because I had toggled the wrong button, so I had to redo it because I have to follow the rules of the challenge. So I actually found this idea from Teresa's in his video, and I absolutely fell in love with it for a walk-in closet and to have like sliding doors. I'm definitely going to be using this idea more. Okay guys, I just came back from a break. I had to cook me up some breakfast and ready now. So I really like the design of this bathroom. It's like the sinks are on opposite sides, but it's still technically double sink because two people could use this bathroom at the same time. And I also like how there's like a built-in aspect to the tub. Like you see the cutout and it's like two windows. I love that. I think that's so pretty. And on the opposite side, there's a shower, and so I think that's cool that you have options to either take a bath or a shower, especially if there's two people sharing this room. I think that makes a lot of sense. And there's also a separate area for the toilet, which I think is pretty cool that the toilet is separate from the wet areas. Alright, so now I'm working on the other bathroom for the kid or teenage bedroom, and I went with more of a vintage or a fancy style for this because I thought that usually kids or teenagers will decorate their room based on their personality or their interest, so I figured why not do a little bit of a different variation of style in this house. So I just added a couple of different elements, but nothing too crazy. It's still a very basic and simple bathroom, but I like it because it gives some sense of normality, but you can still tell that it differs slightly from the rest of the house. So I tried to balance out this being a realistic room with also a fancier theme to it, but also a teenager or kids room. So I tried to make the realistic 2-block closet that you see in a lot of rooms with like a rack and then like a top shelf. So that's what I decided to add there. And then I also, you will see later on, I will add like a desk area, another dresser, and a side table with a bed. So I think that's what most bedrooms have. I know other people have certain different type of elements to their bed, but I was going for more general style, but to keep to the theme and color palette. I really liked how this room came out. It's probably my favorite room in the house, to be honest. And let's steer away from the details of the build a little bit because I'm getting bored of talking about architecture right now. So the other day I went to the beach, and I live in Florida, so yeah, beaches are pretty normal, but I went there and I'm telling you guys, I had a blast. Like, I went hard in the water. I jumped in the waves like about a million times, I'm not even kidding, and it was crowded that day too, but I really didn't care. I don't know, usually I'm more introverted, so it was kind of weird for me to come out of my shell like that, but it was still a lot of fun. And I ended up like losing my glasses in the ocean because I went diving into the ocean with my sunglasses, and you guys know I wear sunglasses because I'm light sensitive, so I ended up losing them, but I really didn't care about my light sensitivity in that moment, and I just kept swimming into the ocean. It was just so fun, and I was doing like flips in the water, I was doing twirls, I was jumping, I was doing everything, and yeah, let's just say I had a blast there. And then afterwards I went to go eat at a buffet, and they had this like awesome sushi bar, and they also had like koi fish. They had a koi fish pond. Koi fish are literally my favorite fish, so I definitely took pictures. I don't know if I'm going to include pictures or not in this video, but yeah, I'll see if I get around to it or not, because I don't know, this video is already kind of jam-packed. But yeah, it was really fun, and I can't wait to do it again. Okay, so when I was building the backyard side with the backyard patio and stuff, I accidentally toggled the wrong button again, so I ended up cutting that footage out, but you will see that in the final tour. I just didn't want to put footage that didn't follow the rules into the video, so, but yeah, aside from that, the last thing I'm doing here is just adding some trees and bushes to it. I didn't realize that it was so hard to place trees without advanced placement until I did this, and I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm just gonna keep it very simple because there's not much I can do here, but it still came out looking pretty cute. So yeah, tour time. Okay guys, you guys ready? Let's go. Okay, so let's make our way up to look at some of the gardening. So I love this little combination I came up with because I didn't want to do my usual plants. I was like, I'm gonna use the most simple plants and make them look good. And tell me this color combination does not look good. I absolutely love it. It goes all around the house. So that's pretty awesome. We've got some trees here as well. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the gardening. And I love that little fence. Wait, actually we have some more up front, and it goes alongside this side of the house as well. And then I'm just going to show you, this is the garage, but we'll get to that later. Here we have our bench right here for our front porch. Very simple, but clean. So when we come through the front door, hold on, let me close it. Okay guys, we're doing good so far with the doors. So we've got some paintings here, and we also have like our first bedroom. So let's go in and see what we have here. It's pretty tight right here, but I will get it eventually. Hold on. Okay, there we go. So this is our bedroom, and we have a little hanging area for coats as well, which I thought was cute. So if I get over here, okay, so we have our bed, we have our paintings, our windows, our dresser, and our desk area, which is so adorable. And then we have our closet, which is also really cute. Has all our storage, all our clothes, and all that. So, and the baskets are really cute as well. So that's it for this room. So now we have our little linen closet where you can get all your bathroom supplies right here. And if we go through this door, we have this bedroom's own bathroom. So yeah, look at this sink. I think it's pretty cute. Yeah, and we have our shower and our toilet, you know, normal stuff. We also have a painting here as well, and I really love the colors. So yeah, here's an overview of that. Let's get out of here. We have a lot to view today, so yeah. Okay, so we're gonna make our way down to the mudroom. And yeah, so I made this like custom built-in thing, but it's pretty cute. Here we have our kitchen, and yeah, we have first our pantry, and I love that vent. but we have so many foods in here. I love doing this part. I always love adding little tiny foods. So over here we have all our appliances and like things you use in the kitchen. It's very crowded, but I did that because I wanted it to be very realistic. Over here we have like a whole bunch of desserts that's going like baking in the process, and we have a lot of candies as well, just to add to that messy aspect. And we have our little coffee bar here, which I absolutely adore. I love it. And we have little books over there with our trash can. So over here we have our dining, and even though it's formal, it's very open and inviting. And over here we have our console table, which is normal. It's cute though. And then we have our living area. So we have our couch, and we also have our fireplace as well. Then over here we have a very open style home office, very simple, gets to the point. And yeah, so through here, this is the master or parents' bedroom. Let me show the door. Okay, so we first have this like additional dresser, and we have our bed and curtains and things. We have a sliding door, and we also have our fireplace and a place to sit with our TV. So through here we can access the backyard, and we have this long pool, which I really like. And if we make our way down here, we have our outside kitchen and grill area, which is really awesome. And we have our seating area. So if we make our way through these doors, we first can go over here and we have a trampoline and a place to play soccer. So all the way down here, which I really like how this house has such a big backyard, we have our own playground, which is really awesome. Like, look how cool it is. And even though the colors are very muted, I feel like it looks very cute and kids could play on it. So let me open the door back here. Okay, not that door, that door. Me and these doors every time. Okay, I'm gonna figure it out eventually. We're doing better than usual with these doors, honestly. Okay, so here's the whole lanai. And let's make our way through the rest of the parents area. Okay, so over here, gotta jump. Okay, so over here we have our bathroom for the parents, and we have our shower here, and we also have our sink and tub area, which is really cool. I love how it's split up. And over here we have our separate bathroom area for our toilet. Through here, another of my favorite features is our walk-in closet, and just look at these sliding doors. I absolutely love the concept of opening a sliding door to get your clothes. I absolutely love it. It just looks so modern and so neat. Okay, so let's make our way back through to get to the rest of the house. And yeah, I think what we have left is the laundry room and the garage. So if we go through here, we have our laundry room. And I think it looks pretty awesome. We have our washer and dryer. If we go through here, we have our garage. And yeah, let me close the door. So we have our trash cans, and we also have our workshop area and our shelf area. So that's pretty awesome. And then I added pipes. So we also have our windows out here, which you can look out of. And I think that's so cool. It brings in a lot of good light in the garage, which is usually dark. Then we have our truck and our car, obviously, just to add like some life to the house. And we can open our garage here, and we're back at the front of the house, which I love how this house is kind of like a wraparound. Let me close the garage. Close. Okay. So yeah, that's it for this house. On to outro. Alright guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I surely did. I didn't mention a lot, but off camera I struggled a lot with this challenge and it honestly tested my building skills in a pretty productive way. And also thank you all for the recent commenting and subscribing and really all of the interaction I've been getting lately. I really appreciate it and genuinely enjoy it. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff. And as always, I love you guys. Stay rad. I'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.